If you've ever wanted to romanticize your life but didn't know where to start, this is your sign. Today, I'm sharing my favorite solo date ideas, the kind that actually make you fall in love with your own company. Think of the most romantic, beautiful date that you can go on. And why haven't you been taking yourself out on this date? I'm challenging the idea that we cannot date ourselves because you absolutely can and should be doing that. So, here are my favorite romantic solo date ideas ever. Some are cozy, some are a little silly, and one completely changed how I see solitude, which is why it's my number one date idea. I think that having dates with ourselves explores this intentional time alone in a way that being surrounded by people cannot. And other cultures have time away, whether that's a silent prayer retreat, whether that's going in solitude to stay more balanced or attuned to ourselves. And we just don't have that anymore. It's always, I feel like, seeking out externally, external validation, external dates, doing something with people, which has its time to do. Community is important. But if you find yourself just not liking being alone or the thought of solitude scares you, then here are some ways to get back into this ritual of intentional time to ourselves. Because a lot of the times, what we are seeking is not going to be found out there, it has to come from within. And I'm still learning this too. And this can happen right now as soon as you say yes to taking yourself out on that date. And if you don't know how, you have me. Hi, I'm Charenee, and subscribe if you would say yes to going out on a date with me. But not right now, hence the video. Okay, here is the first romantic solo date idea, and it is like a true treat every time I go because it helps me stay inspired and tapped into other people's beauty. I go to my local museum alone with just my journal just to be here in this space. Being surrounded by a place that holds so much art inspires me. The vibrant colors, the stories each piece holds from the artist's life helps me tap into my own creativity flow, helps me be able to see the world in new ways. If I have a book and art around me, you already got me. I'm swooning. I love art. I love having a book with me when I go to the museum, so this is a perfect date idea. This next solo date adventure, I'm slowly warming up to these types of dates, but it's going to grab a breakfast and a latte and just sitting there at the cafe with a good book, my latte that I love, which is a spiced oat milk latte. You should try it. It's the perfect way to start a date. Pulling up with a coffee and a good book at the cafe, this is when you can fully immerse yourself in an experience and take time to enjoy what's in front of you. So take a sip of your latte and add this one to your list. These small trips alone become so much more than going to the cafe and getting a cute little drink. It's about taking these steps to be alone, being able to sit down at a cafe with all the sounds and smells and take time to just dream up these things that you wouldn't have if you weren't by yourself. Being able to smell the latte or taste your drink, being able to have a picnic in the middle of the day by yourself, doing these things that feel good, that carve out spaces for you to get to know yourself better, which is something we all need to get better at doing, learning who we are. And if you're someone who notices that you crave being out in nature, or most of your time is spent in nature when you're by yourself, then you're going to love the number one date idea that I have for this, which, of course, I saved the best for last. Okay, the next solo date idea I have is one that I think you should have as a daily ritual just because it enhances everything after, and that is somatic movement. As a yoga teacher, I believe this is how the body needs to move. Taking a step into your body in a somatic way, which is exploring a stretch so that it forms a connection with that part of the body. To me, this is such a beautiful date in a way to do with yourself. Truly the essence of romanticizing solitude. The next date is going to sound crunchy as hell when I say it, but it's still essential. Take a hike. Yes, I just told you to take a hike. Getting some time to look at the sky above you, the trees, the wild plants that grow, noticing the sounds around you. When I take myself outside, I start to remember that solitude isn't something to fix, it's something to feel. So, when I say romanticizing your solitude, I mean fall in love with the quiet moments, sitting in the grass, the wind brushing your skin, the sunlight finding your face. These are the small, sacred things that make life feel full again. Okay, and I've saved the very best for last for this romantic solo date idea list, and it is my personal favorite, and that is a starry night picnic. Grab some blankets, set up some warm lights, and have a picnic under the stars. I recommend having some warm tea with you, grab some extra lights to really set the mood, and if you have a tarot deck, this is the perfect time to lay out your cards under the stars and just notice the energies around you. The beauty in this is being outdoors, alone, sitting on the earth underneath you, and able to gaze out into the open night sky. This time alone reminds you of how you are a part of something larger. I think dating yourself or romanticizing these small moments of solitude blends the romance and self intimacy together in such a beautiful way. And that's necessary. When you start to take care of these tender, intimate spaces, that's where the true healing can happen. Or that's my take on it, at least. If you have any solo date ideas that inspire you or make you feel more like you, then you know what to do. Being able to find something that you've never seen before or unlocking a new creative aspect about yourself are just some of the reasons why dating yourself is one of the most heartfelt relationships you're going to have with your body. So grab that picnic blanket and say yes to a date with you. All right, guys, I'm out. Peace.